3-year period of time, and on Central Station, you're very busy folks over there, 12,000 calls just from that one station, okay? And then the next highest is 5, and then it goes 6, 7, 1, and then 8. And I don't know where 9 would fall in there if you had to stick him in now.
It's probably somewhere between 7 and whichever's below 7.
Okay. So, you know, when you add all these up, that's a significant amount of numbers. Okay, so they don't need more, they don't need less, they need more. They need to maintain, even if you want to call it just the status quo. Because what's happening here is our population is growing, but our resources are diminishing. It's not supposed to be like that. They're supposed to be growing together. So we're doing this number is what we're doing. And that's a bad combination because it puts more work on them, more wear and tear on their equipment, resulting in a longer time to respond, which if it's to one of us or our family members or friends, putting them in harm's way. So that's why I say when it directly affects us, I'm not just saying that just for a punchline, it's reality. It can affect any one of us or any one of our friends or family. Okay? So we need to make sure, you know, you guys have a right to call whoever your local council members are and ask them, what's going on with this? What are you guys doing about it? And that's what it's going to take. It takes not just people who want to run for council members. I'm glad that we have people that are interested in doing this. I mean, we keep hearing with such a great number. You know, here's another gentleman here as well. You know, it's wonderful to see so many people, but it's just not us that's going to make the difference, guys. It's going to be the citizens that have to get involved as well. We can put forth good ideas. We can be advocates for everybody, but in the end, the citizens need to be out there and saying, hey, what's going on? I agree with this guy or I don't agree with this guy. And they need to, your voices need to be heard as well, not just ours. We can be a mouthpiece that's only so effective if we don't have the citizen behind us. That's why it's important. I always tell everybody, get involved, educate yourselves, know what's going on, and then of course, by all means, go vote. But even when it's not time to vote, if you say you love the city, then get involved some way or another. Just don't talk it, show it. There's something for everybody to do, and it doesn't take much of your time. So let's talk a little about KDC. As I said, we're going to be talking about a bunch of different things. KD is Killeen Economic Development Corporation. Now look, I'm a business guy. I'm for economic development, as I told you guys. But I'm also for about accountability. We cannot keep paying an organization to do something that doesn't seem to be doing anything. That is not accountable to anybody for anything. When the presentation was going on and things were being read out, it just seems like, okay, we're going to read all this and just give me the rubber stamp and we're going to go. It shouldn't be like that. So if you look at they don't have a physical address. Now this is a company that's supposed to, or corporation that's supposed to represent our city and go out and look for business to bring here. So there's no physical address. There's no direct phone number. When you call the number on their website, it goes to where? Does anybody know? Chamber of Commerce. Well, isn't that another entity?
Right.
I think so. They're supposed to be business development, not economical. It's two different worlds.
Yeah.
Okay? This is the one that really floored me. And I invite you guys to go to the webpage for the city and look at the meeting. They had a gentleman there that gave a presentation. And I think a lot of people's jaws hit the ground when he got up and was giving his presentation. And I felt sorry for him, I gotta be honest with you. Seemed like a really nice guy from what I understand. He was asking a question about Mrs. Fleming. Do you guys have a head on her? No. Excuse me? You are an organization that is supposed to go out and be in the eyes and ears for our city and to bring back prospective business to our city, and you don't have a head on her. What are you doing? They don't have any employees. They got nothing. They are in name only.
So where is the money going that we pay them?
That's what he just said.
Okay?
They didn't give an explanation at the meeting, they're gonna have another meeting.
Well, there's going to be some more, but you know, this was another thing that was given to me, and this is the audited version of the budget. Not that that means anything, but, this goes into, and, I was looking at this, and on one of the pages, I happened to see KEDC, and I saw all these millions of numbers being attached, and then I was like, what? So I don't want to spout any numbers out because I don't want to mislead. I do not want to do that. Okay? I don't think it's right to say things about people. I don't think it's right to be misleading either. So I'll reserve my comment on that. But there are a lot of questions, and what I've said can be backed up with video. So that's the reason I'm bringing it to you guys' attention. So to answer to before, this is what's been spent in the last 3 years on the KEDC. That's just the last 3 years. That doesn't include the other years. Now, I hear a lot of proponents for what they are now, for and against. The bottom line is, we need a EDC. There's no doubt about that. But we need one that is standalone, that does that only. Because during the presentation, they do a lot of things, supposedly. But my question is, what does any of these things that you're doing have to do with go out with business? Now, I understand about, they should have certain authorities to do abatements and other things to make deals. I understand that. That's when you give them a clear mandate. This is what I need you to do. This is your parameter to which you can work in. If you need more, then you come to us, you let us know, and we'll let you know what we're willing to give. Because those of you who don't know, a lot of corporations that come places, they want tax breaks, they want this, that, and the other. So you got to give them something. But every time we give a tax break, that's our revenue's gone as well. But that's the price of business. I understand that. So, but you got to be careful with it, is what I'm saying. You got to be careful with it. So, to me, when they come back to do something, they need to be on a performance-based contract, as I had mentioned earlier. Okay?
Yeah.
They need to be given a clear mandate by the city. So, I don't know what the city's given them. So, to be clear, the city, the council members and the city manager, they need to say, we need you to do A, B, C, and D, and that is it. So that way, when it doesn't happen, then we can say we did not perform to the contract. They can't say, well, you didn't tell me I need to do this. Yes, right here, there's a mandate right there. Yes,
You said that they have no employees, basically?
that's what they say.
Well, if they have no employees, then who is doing A, B, C, and D?
Chamber of Commerce is doing it.
Okay. I mean,
Is it,
so you're paying them so the Chamber of Commerce can do it?
That's what I guess.
they do have, if you look at the information on it, they do have 2 paid employees.
Oh, yes,
The boss and the assistant boss.
correct. Which is also the boss.
That are just handing it over to
Right.
the Chamber of Commerce?
Right, they do say they have 2 paid
That's it,
employees,
yes.
but that's about it, no worker bees, just
Right.
2 chiefs.
Right, and so the 2 chiefs he just mentioned
No Indians?
are the 2 chiefs that are the chiefs for Chamber of Commerce.
There's something wrong there. That's a definite.
As they say, something's rotten in Denmark, for
You
sure.
got that right.
Yes, sir.
Don't we have 2 council members on that and as well as the mayor?
We have 3. Now, the board's made up of 9, I think. Okay, so you got 3 from the city, you got 3 from the chamber, and you have 3 from the industrial board.
Yes.
Okay, they're the ones that make up this board, board, whatever they call it. Okay, and there's a difference between confidentiality and secrecy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm a businessman for 30 years. I've dealt with a lot of high-end contracts, whether I was with a Fortune 500 company or it was my own company. Okay, there's a big difference between confidentiality, which needs to be honored and respected, and secrecy, which is what's
Hiding
going on
things
over there.
under the table.
Okay, because if you're so secrecy, the way everybody makes it, or that, oh well, we can't tell you anything because it's all top secret. Well, you know what? Elected officials that are for the city, they should be excluded from nothing, in my opinion. Go into closed chambers and do whatever. If you can't trust them, they don't need to sit in a chair.
Right.
That's right.
But until that point, they are elected, they are representing people, they need to know what's going on. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. But aside from that, the KEDC needs to be held to a standard. It needs to be made clear what the standard is going to be, and then they need to perform. But they need to be performed to get paid, not just to be paid to do whatever they want to do. That's my take on it. But again, I said, I'll state it again, we need an EDC. It is important to have that in our city.
Well,
We have to have an
one that
economic
does
growth.
the job, yeah.
And we cannot continue to keep with this same status that we're on of medium to low end jobs. I don't mean any indifference to anybody that has those. They pay the bills for folks, God bless them. But if we want a better quality city, a better quality of life for our people, then we have to have different type of level of jobs that come into our city.
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is referring to the KEDC. These were the numbers that I just gave to you. So, 3 years ago, I guess it was, no, 16, yeah, 3 years ago, they were paid $712,782. I guess there was enough complaining going on that I figured they better whack that in half. So I'm not gonna give you quite as much, but I'll give you half. So half this last year, and then half the same amount again this year. That's what we got paid. And that is in the budget. All be small, but it is in there, okay? And understand, guys, this budget is difficult to understand. It's like,
Right now.
I think if I print it, it's pretty doggone thick because you've got this version, and there's like a couple, 3 versions to begin with, I think. And then when you get into it, it's a couple, 300 pages or something like that. It's a lot, okay? And I'm a guy who's experienced looking at budgets, and I'm even challenged at times until I really get and I'm in there for hours, and okay, now it makes sense, you know? And I've even had to call people to ask myself as well. So your average person is gonna look at this and say, oh, forget it, I'm not gonna bother with this. To me, and this can be done, it's a matter if they want to. We've got, what's that book, Excel for Dummies,
Yes.
okay? We need to have budget for dummies.
Yes.
And I mean no disrespect to anybody about
No,
that.
I know what you mean.
There needs to be a simplified version, so your average Joe Smo can say, I'm interested in politics, I'm interested in my city, let me go look at something, and they can understand it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So this was the tape that I was telling you guys about.
Turn it up.
Is there someone in the economic development is responsible for going out into the community, not only Killeen, but other areas of Texas, like Dallas and Fort Worth, seeking businesses that want to come here?
No, ma'am, the answer is no, we don't.
No?
We have no staff dedicated for that purpose.
When's the last time the KDC actually came to us, the council, with recommendations and or input? I mean, I don't really remember the last time that happened, but when's the last time they actually came to us with something like that?
I don't remember, sir.
And with that, the staff will support, what's the level of staff report that is actually supplied? I mean, do we just have people with the chamber that help out the KDC, or when it says?
No, sir, we do not have any staff.
Okay.
It's chamber staff working for KDC.
Well, the chamber staff works for KDC. Okay, so. They had 2 jobs. I mean.
So this whole thing can be seen, okay? I know I took, because obviously I can't do the whole thing. I want to just obviously clip my points to make my point. I urge everybody to go in there and look at this. It was, as a businessman, I was jaw dropped, honestly. Because I never heard, even as a small company myself, I had a guy that I paid that went out looking to get me jobs different places with other cities and in other states. That was what it was dedicated for. It was my headhunter. So for a self-titled Killeen Economic Development Corporation, that we don't have a dedicated, not just a person, but a staff or persons that would go statewide and then throughout the nation.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a guy that should have a lot of frequent flyer miles in my book, okay?
Yeah.
Who's on the road all the time with leads bringing back. Now again, we are a unique situation, but we still can get people to fit our need. There's no doubt in my mind. It's going to take work and effort though.
So who are they accountable to?
That's a good question. That is the question. Okay? That's the reason I brought this up, because they are accountable to the city in terms, or the council, in terms of when it's time to rubber stamp that contract. But aside from that, there is no accountability, to my understanding. And then this relationship between the KEDC and the chamber, you know, I answered one of the questions that we're given as candidates. One of my answers is very simple. The two companies are almost indistinguishable between each other.
They should be totally.
And they should be completely distinguishable between each other, because they're supposed to do two different things. Economic development is bringing businesses here to help develop our businesses, okay? Or, you know, the economy and so forth. The chamber does what's called business development. They go through, they set up seminars to teach you how to have a better business, how to reach out to more clientele, how to train your people, things like this. They help your business grow. It's two different things though.
One is to take care of the businesses you have.
But yet, one company seems to be the other company, and it's almost like it's a shell game. You have a business by name, but yet no phone number, no address, no nothing, no employees, other than the two that Mr. Gustafson had, that's it, right?
Good guy.
I'm sorry.
Nah,
But, you know, that needs to be accounted, that needs to be explained. Enough of this rubber stamping.
Yeah.
We've done that for too many years, and that's the reason why we are where we're at. That goes back to the good old boy routine. There has to be an end to this. And again, it cannot be just me. It cannot be this gentleman, or this gentleman, or this gentleman. We are a start, but it has to be the citizens.
Yes.
You got to have your voices heard. Downtown, everybody talks about me because I'm like